Well, buenos dias, Mazatlan. Buenos dias, amigos, again. This is Teddy coming to you from Buenos Dias, Mazatlan, as we get into part 2 of our video series showing you the walkthrough, if you will, from El Centro and the Cathedral, Revolution Plaza, and Plazuelo Machado, as we walk to and through the area known as Olas Altas. We are walking through the neighborhood where we sort of left off the first video, and I'm going to give you an idea of what it's like if you were to look down here for a place to live. There are, as I said before, there are numerous areas of Mazatlan that are great places to live. It just depends on your lifestyle, what it is that you're looking for. Obviously, you know, what you can afford. So I recommend to anybody, if you're thinking about spending a lot of time here in Mazatlan, whether that's a couple months, 6 months, or if you're thinking about making it a permanent stay, or as permanent as stays get, then try several different areas. You know, you can certainly do something like Airbnb, or pick out different hotels in different areas and get a taste of those areas before you make any final decision. And even then, remember that like I said, I think in one of the videos before, nothing in life is permanent except for death. And there are those who don't believe death is permanent. So, you know, if you find that, oh man, I've moved to this neighborhood and, you know, I've been here 3 weeks and I really don't like it. It's too noisy, or that, you know, too much stuff is going on here, or, whoa, it's not convenient, there are no stores. You can always check out other areas. But I'm walking down right now Rigoberto Luis Street here, walking right towards the beach here at Olas Altas. And as you can see, there is activity. It's again a little after 7 o'clock in the morning. Nice place here called Casa Barros, exclusive residence. So this would certainly be something that might interest some folks. My feeling is that would be on the upper scale of the rental barometer, if you will. You know, there are hotels in the area, but what we're walking to right now is more or less the commercial part of Olas Altas. As you can see up ahead, we have the lifeguards or salvavidas getting ready for their morning training exercises, and they do a run along the Malecon. They meet here and do their morning exercises, get their assignments, what have you. Now let's look. This is Olas Altas, people. This is This is the commercial part of Olas Altas. Right here on my right is the Posada Freeman Hotel. I did a video recently called I Can See for Miles, which I did from the top deck. It is open to the public. You can go up to the top deck of the Freeman, get beautiful views of the whole area of Mazatlan. And you know, they have a nice rooftop deck with a pool, tables, palapa, so you can hang out up there for a while. And they do have a restaurant. They do have a restaurant, but it's only open certain hours, so you'd have to figure that out. I think they open late afternoon. There is a bar, so you can get cocktails, but I'm swinging the camera around now so you can see that rock in the water that looks white. Well, that's basically bird poop on the rock that makes it look white. If you look there, there's a hill that goes farther back into the Olas Altas neighborhood. Also, when you get to the other side, you kind of come to you will eventually get to the Playa Sur area, down to the harbor, you know, where all the cruise ships and the commercial fishing boats and what have you will come in. As we pan back around, let's take it in, and we'll now go here to the shops. And like I said, it's a very convenient area for the party set. There are bars, restaurants, and oh my gosh, there's even, look at this, there's even an OXXO. Unbelievable. I think in the previous videos, if you've been to Mazatlan, then you know that there is an OXXO. I would say if you've walked 4 blocks and haven't seen an OXXO, then you may be in the wrong side of town. But they're everywhere. So here's an OXXO right along the Malecon. This Malecon, by the way, is the longest in Mexico. I think it's the longest in the Americas, to be honest with you. But it's a great place to come walk, ride your bike. They have great bike lanes along here. It gets busy in the evenings with people taking their walks, and particularly on the weekends, it gets very busy. And there is, you will see vendors down here selling all kinds of, you know, food, merchandise, what have you. This hotel on my right coming up is called the Belmar, Hotel Belmar. If you were walking this area during the 1950s, 1960s, you may have run into somebody that we lovingly refer to as the Duke. That's right. John Wayne loved his fishing, and he used to come here with his buddies, and they would generally stay here at the Hotel Belmar. The Hotel Belmar is, I believe, the first hotel built on the beach, so it may have been the only one on the beach at the time, but it is an area, because it's so close to the port, you could, you know, easily get over and find a boat for fishing. Look at that. An OXXO. How about that? Anyway, here's Rico's Cafe. Rico's is a good place for breakfast, lunch. I had breakfast at a Rico's. There's several of them located throughout town. I had breakfast a couple days ago at the one in the Golden Zone, and it's a nice breakfast. Barbecue place. There's a place up top called Vancouver Wings. I've been there. They've generally will have some sort of lunch special. I remember I got a lunch special one day. It was a cheeseburger with all the trimmings, with French fries and 2 beers for what amounted to be about $10, and it was good. So you know, there are great places to eat. I'll pan back around to the water here. If you see off kind of to the left, you'll see a sort of a white structure that kind of spirals down. Well, that is a slide, water slide basically, that slides into a natural saltwater pool that sits right in the water, in the ocean. Now, I don't know, they don't always have the water running on the slide, so over here. All right, let the salvavidas go by. You want them to get their exercise, because if you're having issues in the water, you want them ready to come get you. Let's pan back over. But anyway, that slide, when it's working, you know, the kids can go up there and slide into the pool. It does get some use. I don't see anybody over there now, but it does get some use, and it's kind of an interesting little thing. But what I want to do now, this is what we've seen is the main core of the Olas Altas commercial area here. There are some things around the way that we could take a quick look at, but you know, this gives you an idea of what you might be able to do, how convenient it might be if you like an area where you have some restaurants, some bars, you know, some entertainment options. You have the beach, you have the Malecon, so you can, you know, come out, have a nice walk. I'm going to stop right up here and then go back through the neighborhood a little bit. But this is the building off to my right, if you'll take a look, is I believe there's a number of restaurants in this building. I have not eaten at any of these, but there's a burger lounge, Kitsilano, Arecipa, and I believe there's a couple different restaurants up there, so you can certainly, you know, partake of anything up there. Let's go back, and then we'll start heading towards the back into the neighborhood a little bit. Let's get one pan down the beach before we head back in. But this is Olas Altas. Olas Altas in Spanish is big waves. And you will occasionally, if the swell is right, you will get some pretty good sized waves coming through the area and crashing into the rocks. So that's where it got its name. There's Olas Altas #1 luxury condominiums. Again, these are not going to be cheap. So if you're on a pretty strict budget, you know, this may not be what you need to be looking for. But, you know, that's all relative. Certainly, if it's what you really, really like and you can afford it, then, you know, by all means, go for it. Here's Rin Rin Pizzeria. You know, we had one of those, I think we had in the previous video. I believe, the more I think about it, and I'm going to have to check on this, this is Rin Rin Pizza alla Legna, which means wood-fired pizza. And they make a distinction on this as opposed to the regular little Rin Rin shops that you see all around town. Those pizzas at the little shops are not wood fire. I know this, I've been in the pizza business. But, so I might come try this at some point, because I want to see if being wood fire makes a difference in their pizza, and it certainly could. We're looking at Liverpool Street, and as you'll notice, there are 4 statues walking across the crosswalk here. John, Paul, George, and Ringo, and pretty cool. And a plaque on the wall. Dedicated to Randolph Pete Best, who was sort of the 5th Beatle, I guess. He was the drummer before they brought in some guy named Richard Starkey, who you may know as Ringo. But somebody loves the Beatles, obviously, and we are going to take a walk down Liverpool Street and walk by a place called the Cavern. This is all dedicated to the Beatles. The Cavern Club. I have an actual hat and a guitar pick from the original Cavern Club in London, or excuse me, in Liverpool. And this place, while it's kind of reminiscent of the Cavern, it's not really an exact type replica, and it would be hard to have that, obviously. But we're walking back into the neighborhood. Some repairs and renovation going on here on Liverpool. And I think we'll head to the right here, and then we'll walk up and down a couple streets, and then we'll close this video out in just a few minutes. At some point in the very near future, although it may be several weeks, I'm going to come down and do another walkthrough video in which I basically spend a little more time walking through the residential streets. I will do that in El Centro. I will do that, you know, probably again for Playa Sur. I will do that in the areas around the Golden Zone, probably not in the heart of the Golden Zone, but the areas across Cameron Sabalo, which would be the residential areas that one might decide to find a residence in. But I will come down and do some more detailed neighborhood walks up and down the residential streets. That'll would give you maybe an idea of what life is like on these streets daily. Buen día. The dichotomy of everything is interesting here. They are these folks, the Mexican people, are very, very clean. I mean, you saw there a worker basically sweeping the sidewalks, cleaning the sidewalks, and people do this on a regular basis. Yet when you're out and about, you see trash thrown everywhere. That's one of the, I may have talked about it in a previous video, but that's one of the disappointing things about Mexico in general, I guess, is, you do see a lot of trash. They need to get that taken care of. And I think it's more education and advertisement, or, posting on billboards or whatever, than it is, anything else. Let's go left. Here's the Azul Cantina Fina, the blue cantina. But anyway, we could just get people to be aware that trash on the streets es no bueno. There is what appears to be a military facility, hospital, on the left. And another little plaza coming up on the right. And I'm going to take a left here. I told you that they have done some serious renovations on some of the streets. Here's an example. Here is a beautiful, beautiful example. This is a residential street here in Olas Altas. They have come through with the greenery, painting the buildings. Some of these are for sale. You can see the traffic, because this is a one-lane road, the traffic coming is not so bad. But the area, as I've said, they are going street by street, and it's going to take a while, but they're going street by street, gradually making some progress, getting things back in repair, beautifying areas. And, it is an ongoing theme, particularly down in this area. And hopefully it will continue. Hopefully it will continue. If you go up these stairs, you could get to more of these units up the hill. This goes up the hill. And as we continue, we will wind up back at the beach area. As I said, that's where we'll end it, probably down by by the beach again. But as I said, in the coming weeks, I will get back down here and we'll do a more detailed walkthrough Centro and get an idea of what it might be like if you were to choose this as your residential area. Just to give you an idea where we are right now, we are on General Angel Flores, Calle General Angel Flores, General Angel Flores Street in Olas Altas. The view back down Angel Flores. And here we are, back at the beach. Back at the commercial core here at Olas Altas. So I hope this has been somewhat helpful, this two-part series, basically showing you the walk from El Centro, down by the cathedral, to the commercial area and through some of the residential areas at Olas Altas. Stay tuned as we continue these walks through neighborhoods. Hopefully it will give you an idea of some places that you might want to think about if you're, thinking to come and stay in Mazatlan for a length of time. But anyway, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for liking and subscribing. And thanks for joining us at Buenos Dias Mazatlan. This is Teddy signing off and saying muchas gracias amigos. Buenos Dias Mazatlan.